Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast, a show that provides insight and tools to building the life and homestead of our dreams. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Today is Tuesday, and it is going to be a top 10 Twitter trending topics show. Easy for me to say. And today's show is going to be an interesting one. I am in a little bit of a different headspace, if you will. After coming back from the big city, I am on the road right now. I just pulled off the road to get the microphone set up and ready to record. So coming back from the big city after another follow-up appointment with the functional medicine department. And today was an appointment where I continued working through and with the behavioral health therapist. So let's see where today's thoughts lead us as we look into the top 10 trending Twitter topics this Tuesday. First and foremost, we have the hashtag Tuesday vibe. You can join the conversation to get your morning started in the right way. All right, number 2 trending is Elon. Elon Musk joins Twitter's board of directors after taking a 9.2 stake in the company. All right, number 3, we've got Quirtle trending, the daily Quirtle 71. People attempt to guess 4 5-letter words at once in Quirtle, which is a take on the viral brain teaser Wordle. Number 4, hashtag First Contact Day. On First Contact Day, Star Trek fans celebrate April 5th, 2063, when Zefram Cochrane will launch Earth's first warp-capable rocket, and when humans first meet Vulcans in the movie. Now, number 5 rather, Parag is trending. Don't know what that is. Number 6, Major League Baseball is trending with Greg Bird. Greg Bird has been released by the Blue Jays after exercising an option in his contract. Number 7, Wordle 290X. People try to guess today's 5-letter word in 6 tries or fewer in Brain Teaser Wordle. Number 8, Business and Finance. We've got hashtag Venmo me is trending. Number 9, hashtag Bring Back Trump. And number 10, hashtag Things You Should Never Pay For. There are other trending topics. I'm sure some of this is geared towards me and the way in which I use Twitter, even though there is a specific column in the search features within Twitter that say for you and trending. We've also got topics specific to COVID-19 news, sports, entertainment, and so on and so forth. But we'll just go with the top 10 trending Twitter topics on this Tuesday. We've got Tuesday Vibe, Elon Musk, Daily Quirtle, First Contact Day. Let me approach these one by one, because I've got a little bit of extra time, and I'm thinking, where do I need to go from here? And so, yeah, we might have a little bit of extra time as I try to put my thinking cap on and figure out this longer drive from a location I haven't been in many years, but it's coming back to me now, so let's hit it. All right. Yeah, so these top 10 trending Twitter topics. This is always an interesting thing for me, and even though I have no idea what's going on in the world, I like to share my take on these things because who knows, maybe you're like me and you don't really pay attention to these things, and you don't play these games like Wordle. Maybe you're like me, you're not really a Star Trek fan, don't have any clue who Parag is. Maybe you're like me, don't have any interest in sports, don't know anything about Greg Bird, who he is, who he plays for. Venmo is applicable because it's a manner of transacting in a way that, in a world that is becoming more and more different. I paid cash today when I left the parking garage, but I have to take extra steps in order to pay cash because at the gate they only accept credit cards. Now, technically, I don't have a credit card, and I've utilized this little tool to to get out of paying, because technically I don't have a credit card, and if you tell them you don't have a credit card, it's already too late for you to pay cash. But the machines will accept debit cards, and rather than just say one thing and be a little bit deceptive, I decide to take my $4, bring my parking ticket into the building with me, and as I leave, pay my $4 and quickly get out of there. But the Venmo, hashtag Venmo me is trending because I think that Venmo and Cash App and PayPal and all these different mechanisms that are designed to allow us to transact easier are also getting us accustomed to and assimilated to a cashless society. All right. And I don't know how deep I want to go down this cashless society road right now. I really don't. And I don't know if you want to hear about that. Quite honestly, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going. I know where I am. And I know how to get to the destination of where I'm going, which is to the day job. But this isn't going to be my greatest content today as I continue to... Yep, I should have turned right instead of turning left. That's all right. Take a bit of a scenic route, if you will. Yeah, we won't talk about the cashless society, but I love how number 9 is bring back Trump. In these trending Twitter topics, I don't know. How about we just talk social media, right? like trending Twitter topics. All of this is a distraction. Wordle, Quirtle, sports. I don't know what Parag is, but even Star Trek to a certain degree. Television, entertainment, distractions. Distractions. And before I could begin anything in terms of conversation and getting into these trending topics, I'm sitting here debating at the traffic light, do I take a left here or do I turn right? And I'm going to take a left and get back to this, get back to my original route. This is what happens when you engage your mind, engage your brain, begin thinking instead of relying on navigation systems. Speaking of thinking, to just waylay this whole trending Twitter topics, what is all of this a distraction from? All right? It's a distraction from God. Deliberate or not, that is what is taking place. It's a distraction from God. Now in the chat, the Telegram chat, t.me/allaroundgrowth, we've had some pretty sweet dialogue lately. And there was some dialogue about raising of children. And now I do not have children, and those who do have said without a doubt raising children is the most challenging thing they've ever done in their lives, but also the most rewarding. And in this conversation about raising children, Sean mentioned that sometimes the aesthetic life of a monk sounds rather appealing, especially after challenging days with the family. And I chuckled because this was yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I chuckled because I had just spoken with a priest at a local monastery on Sunday afternoon about my spiritual journey. And the last appointment that I had with my behavioral therapist, I guess that's behavioral therapist, behavioral health coach, the last appointment that I had with her, my homework, if you will, was to journal and document my spiritual journey, this path that I'm on, in order to flesh out some of these ideas that I've had. And believe me, I've done that. And I came prepared to discuss that with her today. However, life on life's terms. This is a beautiful magnolia up here. I am up by the lake. I'm closer to the lake right now than I am where I work and live. And the magnolias are starting to bloom up here. That was a beautiful star magnolia, Magnolia stellata, right on the cusp of blooming. Stunning old specimen of a tree, probably 35 feet tall and 40 feet wide. Just a magnificent tree. But life on life's terms happened yesterday, and when it came time to discuss what was going on in life, more of life on life's terms were on my mind than not. But as we talked about that which brings me peace, the thing that brings me the most peace is this spiritual journey, this seeking, this path. And knowing that, really knowing that, first and foremost, it's out of my hands, but that's not an excuse to not do anything. Right? It's but also knowing that my goal just simply needs to be understanding what God's plan is for me, and trying to implement that in my life. Now, I know the steps that I need to take to make that happen. And it's it can be scary at times. And this is exactly what leads to this comfortable familiarity, this complacency that Dan Miller so frequently speaks of. Something that I find myself reverting back to at times. And when I went to pick up the fast food last night and a beer, it's part of the reason why it's easy for me to resort to these old habits, because it's familiar, it's comforting. Whereas real growth happens when we push ourselves and get uncomfortable. Not to the point of pain, but think of it like stress. You build muscle when you work out because you stress your muscles. You break them down a little bit. And then in the recovery phase, they have time to heal. And generally, the way that this works is we heal just a little bit stronger than we did when we broke down. And when we repeat this process over time with consistency, we become stronger. And this can be physically stronger, mentally stronger, spiritually stronger, whatever. And today, that's what I realized that I've been doing. The work has been the work has paid off. I continue to do the work, it will continue to pay off. And these moments that happen, the details are irrelevant, but when challenges are presented to us, I'm trying to think of the acronym I learned for fear today. Fear enters action. I don't know, but more magnolias, buds on red maples, getting ready to swell and pop. Spring is here, guys, but I don't know. This trending Twitter topic has just got me thinking about so much of the distraction that occurs with social media and what we stand to lose by getting hung up in social media, the comparison trap, and endlessly scrolling, because basically social media, YouTube, which I consider to be social media, the way that they're changing the platform and how it's used, it's the new TV, especially with the ad volume on YouTube. It's the new TV. It's the new magic box. It's all a distraction. It's a distraction from real life. And real life is all that, which is right in front of us. The trees, the leaves, the flower buds, the grass that's just on the cusp of growing as the ground warms. It's all a distraction. And I drive myself mad thinking about this. I shared coffee with a friend Sunday morning after church. Came in, sat next to me. And I'm glad he did, because I almost texted him Saturday and said, "Hey, you want to go grab a coffee after church on Sunday if you're going to be there?" And I thought, we'll catch up, we'll cross paths at some point. And that was what we did. That was exactly what happened. And we were talking about this spiritual journey and all manner of things. And he could only laugh and chuckle and say, and tell me that I was blessed with the curse of being somewhat of an intellectual, and that I just simply couldn't be satisfied with being fat, dumb, and happy. And he said that oftentimes he could, and that he does, and that he chooses that, and he has his reasons. And our lives are different. He's got a family, and the context of our lives are very different. I don't judge him, but I think he respects where I'm coming from and the way in which I think, since he's gotten to know me and actually understand that on a deeper level. And I got some insight because he laughs and says that he can be fat, dumb, and happy, and that he at times prefers that. But he's aware of the difference, right? And on the other hand, I sometimes think I'm going insane. Because I often feel fat, dumb, and happy. But as I take strides to become healthy, learned, and content, I realized that the work that's been done leaves me still fat, dumb, and happy. Yet less so than I was. I can see the progress. And I can see the, not so much the goals that I have, because I don't know what those goals are yet. But I see enough that the dialogue of trending Twitter topics on this Tuesday morning gets me thinking about how all of it is a distraction from that which really matters in life. And that which really matters in life isn't actually that which... Sorry guys. There's a street sweeper here and a truck and some flaggers that aren't really making a whole lot of sense. But these are all distractions from the life that we should be living in. And in this conversation Sunday with Father Joseph over at St. Gregory Palamas Monastery, maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, I don't know. I guess I'm ignorant in that regard too. But in the conversation with him and some of the challenges I've had discussing the idea of theosis with some people, and granted, I haven't really discussed it with too many people outside of the pastor of my church, and he was actually the one who introduced me to the idea or the concept of theosis as I was grasping at straws, trying to articulate what it was that I was challenged with and what it was that I was seeking in terms of my spiritual journey and this path that I find myself on. When we were talking about setting spiritual goals back in November, talking about how I was for reasons that still remain beyond me, drawn to the exploration and curiosity of the Orthodox faith. And that was when he smiled, nodded, kind of an understanding way, seemingly understanding way, not real sure. Said, yes, theosis. Now I almost wonder if he said that in a way like, oh boy, here he goes, he's going down this road, in an empathetic way, almost like God help him. I don't know. But as I talked about this with my difficulty in having this conversation, or trying to articulate this to people, the idea that this is of interest to me, his response was to my dialogue about theosis and life. His response was simply, well, isn't that the point? At which point I was weeping. Not openly weeping, but I felt understood and received again for my very first time in an Orthodox church several weeks ago, last month. I I was greeted after the service by the priest of the church. Father sat down with me and we talked. We had a conversation. As did Father Joseph from the monastery, who simply encouraged me to call him and have a conversation. Where we talked about a spiritual retreat and what they have to offer, which really isn't that, but is. It's basically what I want to make of it, if I want to make anything at all of it. But to have him say to me that this was kind of the point was of life, that is, theosis, the cultivation of a deeper relationship with God, really brought me some peace. Because if I feel like I'm engaging in activities and relationships and behaviors in life that distance me from that, then those are behaviors, relationships, and activities that I should really reconsider engaging in the first place. If it's something that's even leading me to question whether or not it is a benefit to my relationship with God, then it is likely not. Much like I was encouraged initially with the path of functional medicine, and that when I was consuming something, ask the simple question, is this healthy for me? And if the answer is no, really consider. And that applies in this regard as well. Because if that is my goal, and indeed it is becoming one of them. I have spiritual goals this year, but I may be revisiting just how meaningful my relationship with God is, or maybe how I misunderstood the meaning and the depth of my personal relationship with God. I'm not entirely sure yet, and that's why I'm talking this out, thinking this through. That's where a trending Twitter topic Tuesday takes me. It takes me to a place of thinking about what Twitter is, what social media is, and the way in which we use it. And I don't really have much more to say on this trending Twitter topic Tuesday, other than the thoughts of the trending Twitter topics got me thinking about distractions. And unfortunately, in this world, we have so many distractions. And those distractions in life are contributing to our overall imbalance in life. and we are living a life that is out of balance. We are out of balance financially. We are out of balance physically. We are out of balance with regard to our personal growth and development. We are oftentimes out of balance with our families and our family life. We are oftentimes out of balance with our spiritual lives, our social lives, and our career. I've often said that it becomes much easier to find balance in life once we've begun making progress in our finances. And while I still believe that, and it was the financial path that led me back to the church in the first place, I think that further cultivating that relationship with God is the next critical component, if not the most critical component in finding balance in life. So I would encourage you to join us in the group chat at t.me/allaroundgrowth and let us know how you are going about your own spiritual journey and what you are doing to cultivate your relationship with God. I look forward to hearing from you there, and I look forward to catching you on another show tomorrow. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.
In a world of pain, what can I do? The needs are many and answers are few. People turn away and I wonder why. If I can help somebody, then I want to try. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love, and truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call. You know the times are wasting every day, and we can help somebody along the way. People may think that it's odd that I believe